Thank you
Please
so
go
much,
ahead.
Meenal, for having me live with you. It's an immense pleasure. Hi everyone. I'm Mind Coach Swati, famously known as Mind Coach Swati. I'm a woman career growth coach, and I'm on a mission to help millions of women scale up the ladder, particularly at top leadership positions in organizations. And Meenal, why I have this aim or mission is because I've been into the leadership space myself. I've been into the corporate industry for more than 24 years now, rather. And I've seen that, there's a lot of struggle women have growing up to a particular level. Manager, senior manager, people grow up to that level. But
Yes.
above that, we have a very, very skewed population in our country, particularly if I talk about. So that is why I want to empower
Yes.
maximum women and, kind of help them grow with the right skill set, with the right abilities. Yeah.
Yes, amazing. And you said it absolutely right, because my first question would be regarding that why in India there are only 17.1% women, those who are at leadership position. And as you know, and as my tribe know, that I was also
Yeah.
in the leadership position for so long. But it's so difficult for a woman to think and
Yeah.
come out from our comfort zone. And usually I have recently shared a reel on that also, that blaming, complaining and excuses, yes, we have a lot of them, but how can we stay focused, and can how can we think about our career? So my first question to you, Swati, is this only, that why in India we have only 17.1% women at leadership positions? What's your opinion
Mhm.
about it, or what's your
Yeah, I think you're
take
absolutely
on
right,
this?
Meenal. 17.1%. I think that's the updated number. I keep, looking at the charts as well. There are many, many factors, but I would like to, talk about things which are in our control. Obviously, societal factors, things which are
Yes,
there since prevalent for years. We'll not talk about that. How do we overcome that is what I will talk about. So I think first,
yes,
women are
absolutely.
themselves not believing that they deserve that position. I feel that I've seen that. You have to be coaxed to actually believe. Oh yeah, is this level even right for me? So believing in yourself, kind of upgrading yourself. The second thing I would say is we don't invest our time and energy in upgrading ourselves or educating ourselves. This is
Yes,
something which I've also learned the hard way, because when we feel that school education, we've done our MBA, we've done our college degrees, it's good enough. But today's world, I think self sustenance, for that you really need to keep yourself updated and upgraded. Is that the word? We don't really believe in that. A lot of women still don't believe in that. I think these two major elements, that believing in yourself, in your competencies, and also looking at upgrading yourself regularly to be relevant in the industry. That is very, very important, I feel.
yes, you're absolutely right, and I totally agree with you that these two factors are really important. And those who have joined right now,
Welcome, welcome.
welcome to our live, and we are sharing our thoughts on leadership lesson for women. It's very important because, as Swati said, that yes, there can be a number of factors, right, that why women are not thinking, but they need to believe in themselves. And when we say believing in themselves, means they need to find out
Absolutely.
their strengths, right? And number two, you have to take that ownership and
Hmm.
responsibility for your own life. So this will definitely help you in scaling your career or coming to the leadership. So amazing, Swati. That was amazing. The number two question which I want to ask you, that what, like, already you are in at the leadership position for almost 24 years. So what leadership lessons guide your actions while interacting with your
I think
team?
that's a very interesting question. I think the primary thing I would say what guides me in my leadership style is empathy. Right. I think that comes naturally in women, but again, that is taken as a soft spot for a lot of people. Right. A lot of people feel that women are soft and they're going to be kind of people can take advantage or things like that. But I think I have worked on empathy as my cue card or my strongest element. Right. And I've seen that, and I've actually helped people inculcate that behavior, because in today's world, and particularly the robotics and the AI world, people need a human touch, a human connection. So if a leader is more empathetic,
Yes.
more caring, more supportive, you feel that that leader is on my side. He's not on the other side of the table, he's on my side. And that is one element which has made me, and I keep saying that, I'm not a leader, I'm an influencer. Which means what? I am using my influencing skills one notch above to actually get work done and also empower people. So when you actually get into, and empathy has really helped me a lot. I think that would be my biggest strength, I would say. If that goes away, I think that will not really be a good leader, because then you're just working on the robotics. The other thing I would say that has helped me is good decision making. I'm sure that, we do make decisions, and we all have to make decisions, from what to eat in the morning to what to wear is all decision making. But a lot of leaders I've seen, they don't make decisions, or they avoid decisions because they feel scared that, if I
Yes.
take a wrong decision, they just leave it. They just say that, okay, let it go with the flow. The management will take the decision, or the team will take the decision. Yeah, jo hoga, we'll see. But I have been a self starter all my life. So I have been, whether it is going against all odds or whatever it is, but the decisions that I've made have been really impromptu. And whether or not, I'm not saying they're all been successful, but whether or not, it's making me learn. Every day, with every decision that I take, it has made me learn. Every mistake has made me learn. So that makes me grow as a leader, and kind of empowers my team as well. That they are also looking at, okay, yes, we need to take that decision right now, not kind of linger it on for a long time. So I think those two things, I would say, really has been my key strength: empathy and decision making as a leader.
So, if you all really love these answers, or if you loved her perspective, please share heart in the comment section for her, because that's so beautifully explained. It's so true.
Yeah.
Empathy is power, and people feel that it's not the power, it's the weakness. You should not be empathetic towards others, and even if you're
Yeah.
empathetic from the core, don't try to show it. But I loved it, Swati, how beautifully you said that you have used it as
Yeah.
your Q factor or Q card, right? That's amazing. So, Swati, for you, what is leadership? When we are talking so much about leadership, what do you think is leadership? Because I personally feel like I especially
Mhm.
focus on the women, ambitious women. So when I talk about ambitious women, it
Yeah.
she can be a
Absolutely.
homemaker also and a working lady. So people have this, and women have this perspective in the mind that leadership is something they are born only as a leaders and then they reach. So I really want them to understand through this life that anyone can be the leader, and a homemaker is also a leader. So what is your definition
Very
about
beautifully
leadership,
said,
Swati?
Meenal, that leadership is a skill which can be inculcated like any other skill. It's not like you are inherited or born with it. Yes, some people have that extra spark, some people are go getters, but that is only
Hmm.
going to give them an advantage. But if you don't practice that skill like any other skill, like, I'll give an example. I learned driving 20 years back. I am a pro driver right now because I've been practicing driving every single day, right? But and on the contrary, my sister who had learned driving alongside with me only, today if I sit with her, she doesn't know how to drive. Not because she's not good at it, but she's in practice driving. She had a driver all her life. So all I'm trying to say is, like any other skill, leadership is a skill which can be understood, which can be gathered, which can be procured, and you need to practice it every single day in your life. And rightly, very beautifully, like what Meenal said, leadership is not only for women or men who are leading a team. You can be a homemaker and be a good leader. You can be a student and be a good leader. You can be a retired professional and be a good leader. Leader means that you need to have that go-getter attitude. You need to be anything that comes your way. If you're in a group, for example, if you're in a group talking and you're brainstorming, etc., you are the one who's standing out and, kind of invigilating the entire discussion, kind of coordinating the entire discussion. You're the one who's going to, okay, let's talk about this, let's give more ideas. You're the one who's going to, do more. So if you are that kind of a person, that is what leadership is all about, being a go-getter, not being at the back foot, but heading everything from the front. That is what a leader is
Yes.
all about. हाँ अच्छा हुआ तो भी हम ठीक है. If you are good, doing good, wonderful, it's the team effort. If you are doing wrong also, and I've seen leaders, when something goes wrong, they blame nicely with the team. Oh my god, the team is the team has been a
Yes.
failure. But that's a A good leader is someone who will say, okay, it's okay if we did wrong, no problem, we learn from it, we'll do it better next time. And it's my fault, I take the onus. That kind of a leader people will really look up to because you're being honest. Leadership is about, it is not about putting on a mask, it's about being your own self. That is what I think leadership is for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and where you know who you are. And basically, to be very honest, I believe that we all are leaders. We just need to polish that skill. And for me, leadership is creating more and more leaders,
Absolutely.
owners down the line. So, where
Yeah.
it is that not one man show, it has to be, and there's a very thin line difference
Absolutely.
between a boss and the leader, right? So we, to be very honest, Swati, it took me time to understand because I was always in, in if you see in any organization, I was always on the top three positions. So when I started my career, I started in early 22 when I was 22, 23. So that attitude and arrogance I was having related to, like a boss, whatever I will say, it will has to be there. It should be heard by everyone. And it's my decision. Slowly and gradually, I understood that how empathy and compassion helped me in
Right.
bringing the voice of my team. And every team member started understanding that no, I'm also the
Absolutely.
leader, I am heard. So this took me time, but why I wanted right now to discuss with you so that every woman sitting at home or any leadership position, she should understand that it is about being heard, and you have to hear your team member. You have to give them that ownership and responsibility. And what you said, absolutely right. It has nothing to do with right and wrong, failure and success. It is about
Mira.
taking that responsibility. Jo hua wo mera hai. And why I laughed, because I have seen this. People immediately say, as at the leadership position, "Arey, mere wajah se nahi hua. It is because of XYZ." So that's not the right attitude. So I
Resonate.
loved it because we
Yeah.
both can resonate. How, yeah, and it's always a journey. So why I'm telling everyone so openly, and sharing from my heart, because it took me time to come from that arrogance to empathy. Sympathy तो रहता है, पर empathy में आना बहुत important है. Okay, to listen to every member of your team. And when the day I left Swati,
Yeah.
my job, you know that I recently resigned it. And that day I realized that yes, now today when I'm moving out, how my team is showering that love, that support, that blessing. So in case agar मैं
Yeah.
boss होती, तो they all would be very happy. चलो गई.
Absolutely. They are not happy because you're not the boss. Yeah.
Yeah, so this really helped me, and I want everyone to be ready with your questions, so that you can have more clear perspective, or you can change this lens or the filter in your mind how to see the leadership. So Swati, the next question to you is that how women can start her journey from a housewife to become a leader. Of course, she's a leader, but she needs to
Absolutely.
see herself from that perspective. So
So I
just
think,
go ahead with it.
being a housewife also, like rightly you said, you can be a leader because you're the in charge of the house, right? You're taking care of the finances. I think to start with, I have seen a lot of women, a lot of my friends also, when they talk to me and they say, I am just the homemaker. I just take care of children. I just make the food and things like that. I feel, and I feel, I tell them, and I feel a little this thing because, you need to be in charge of your life, in charge of the finances. You need to understand what's happening in the house as well to start with. If you don't want to go out and work, completely your perspective. I'm not the one who's pushing anyone. I mean, people are comfortable being at home, taking care of children. They feel that's the prime responsibility. Wonderful. But again, decision making in the household should be a dual responsibility. If you leave all the decisions to the man of the house or to the bread owner of the house, you're just the executioner, you're just the laborer in the house. I mean, I'm sorry to use that word, but if you really want to step up and become the leader, then you need to be equilibrium. You have to maintain that equilibrium with your spouse and say that, hey, I need to know what are the decisions of the house. Let's make it together. Let's brainstorm. I also have ideas. I also am a good well-wisher of the family. I may have better ideas. Like, just let's talk about it. Let's not just execute someone's idea, chahe wo koi bhi ho, spouse or in-laws or whatever it is. The other is, understand the finances. That's the good way to start out. Understand the finances, what kind of income you're getting in the house, what are your savings, what are your expenses. When you are aware of that, you're going to be, and like what they say, the woman of the house, if she's educated, the entire generation is educated. If a mother knows how to manage finances, how to take care of the monetary matters, trust me, the children are going to be much more empowered. If the mother is involved in decision making, children are going to learn that. So if you need to be a leader, you have to walk the talk. If you are telling your children to, take care of finances, if you're a lousy finance manager, children will follow the same thing. If you're telling your children, "Arey beta, decision lo, aap decision nahi le rahe ho," but if the mother is not doing that, if the mother is a docile, submissive person who's listening to all the, what is happening in the house. So I think the first step for a woman, a homemaker, to kind of step up and become a leader is take charge of the decisions of the house, of the finances of the house, of knowing just whatever is happening. You're not just one executioner. You're going to be the key member of, or the epicenter of the family. Put everyone together. So I think that's my take on how you can elevate yourself to become a leader for homemakers.
Yes. Yeah, and basically, I feel for homemakers, the most important thing is to believe in themselves. They need to find out their strengths and use your strengths, then grow and learn. Automatically, that confidence will be there, because many a time it is that when you said that, when female introduce herself like that, I'm just a homemaker, this shows that you are only putting yourself down. Correct? So this needs to be changed. So this is how women being a leader, she never sees herself as the leader of the family. And it's very important, like Swati, as of course, if we are working, still we are a homemaker. So I really, in my friend circle, when I meet every females and with my friends, I have observed that they take all the decisions while purchasing the clothes, jewelries, or their handbags and everything. But when it comes to finances, when it comes to the important decisions of the family, they are one back foot. Why? Because they feel that they don't have understanding about the world, or they are not educated. Even if I have seen engineers and MBA women, those who are housewife, or now they are the homemakers. I don't know where does this confidence, settle down, or it is inside there, but it is just a layer of dust. So they need to work on it, and they need to find out their strengths. And trust me, darling, there are many strengths in you, because you're managing everything.
I just would like to add a point here.
Yeah,
as well,
so you have to add.
This is again from.
Yeah. Swati, just a minute. I want to tell Send 5569 that we would be taking your question, and thank you for that wonderful question. Yeah. But just let us finish our Q&As, and then I would be taking your questions. Okay. So thank you for having that.
So that was sensible. Yes, so I just wanted to point out on this particular aspect, why, like what Meenal also said, that why you need to take charge of all of the finances, because I've seen in real life situations that, all your life, women have been, that's how the patriarchal society worked, right? Initially, and now also we see the homemaker is not aware of the finances, where the investments have been done, what kind of FDs or whatever. What are the future investments the person has made, your spouse has made. Now, given a situation, and we've seen that live, because I was into insurance for a long time, and I'm still into. So I've seen that, after any situation which happens, for example, and I'm not kind of scaring people, but this is exactly what happens. In case there's an exigency which happens, the woman of the house is not aware of what are the investments, where are the savings kept, what is the business all about. She doesn't even know what business the husband is doing. And tomorrow it comes as a setback, because she's now supposed to step into the CEO's position and take care of everything. And she's like clueless. She's like clueless that, she doesn't know anything. So that is something why I say that, you are a partner, you're equal, right? That's why they say partner. So you need to be equal. Yeah. You need to know everything, what's happening in the house, what kind of finances are happening, what investments are happening, what's the business all about. I'm not saying become naggy and try to dig into it, but you need to, kind of tell your partner as well that I need to know everything. I need to be aware of everything. That's what I just wanted to put that point across. Yeah.
So what makes a woman a great leader?
What makes a woman a great leader? By acknowledging, I think by acknowledging and being aware. First, I would say self-awareness is the key. A lot of times we are not aware of what are our strengths, like what you rightly said. Awareness about your strengths, your weaknesses, where do you need to improve, how can you improve? Awareness gives us a lot of power. The problem is we are always blinding ourselves. We just don't want to accept it. And that's the reason why we are like, we believe we are something. Like what they say, our perception about ourselves is something different. We don't want to accept that this is what it is. So being aware of your strengths will give you more power, because you can be in control of yourself. You'll start believing yourself more. Being aware of your weakness is also important, so that you can work upon them. You can really change that. Weakness can never be a weakness always. If you know that this is my weakness, I will work upon that. Like, for example, I've seen so many people, women are not technically savvy, like, working on Excel or presentations or some dashboards, etc. A lot of women face a lot of challenge. But the moment you become aware that, okay, this is where I need to work. I mean, I'll accept. For the longest time, I was also, when it comes to reporting and analytics and all, I was like, let me not do it. Let me get some team member to do it. But then I realized, no, I need to also be hands-on, because how will then I learn? How will then my team respect me if I don't know that, right? So I took that effort to, train myself and, get abreast on those particular topics or whatever, the technical skills. So biggest thing I would want to say is that self-awareness about your strength, weakness, opportunity areas, whatever, and then continuously learning, upgrading yourself, being relevant, like I again said, continuously learning.
Yeah.
It's okay. No one's perfect. No one can ever be perfect. But the fact that you have to become a better version of yourself, physically, financially, emotionally, intellectually, everything. You have to just say that, okay, what I was yesterday, today when I look at myself in the mirror, am I 1% better than yesterday? Am I 10% better than yesterday? I just have to, and like what you started in the beginning saying, comparing, blaming, etc. One of the reasons why we compare is because we look at others and we compare. We don't look at ourselves in the mirror. So when you want to compare, I always say that to all my friends and myself as well. Do not compare yourself with others. You have a life, you're the best, you're the unique version. God has made you as a unique person, right? So you have to look at yourself and compare. If you have to compare apple ko apple ke sath hi compare kar sakte, orange ke sath nahi kar sakte. What you're doing is, when you're comparing yourself with someone else, that person is of a different breed altogether. So better is, you want to measure a scale of comparison, saying what I was yesterday, what I am today. Have I bettered? That is going to be a good measurement and good analysis for you. So that's how you improve, and that's how you develop yourself.
Yes, absolutely right. And it's really important for everyone to understand who you are actually, and that is what is self-awareness. Okay, and I always say that throughout the life we never understand this, that hum hai kaun. We always try to understand ourselves with our ego identity, and we need to go deeper to understand. So if you don't know something, it's fine, but just go and learn. That acceptance is very important. And what you said, nobody's perfect. So ये perfect का भूत भी थोड़ा हटाना जरूरी है. And women we have, because we are conditioned, and especially the education system has done a wonderful job of first, second, third. She's best than others. So this is what our programming was done since childhood. So still when we grow up, and why I'm sharing with you this, Swati, because being into education industry, I have seen when parents come to me, they always say, finally, you just tell me where my child is standing. Being an IB board, we don't go for grade, like we only go for gradings and rubrics, but still parents have this habit of asking. So I really helped them to understand that if I compare you with someone else's parent, how will you feel? If your husband compares you with someone else's wife, or if your wife compares you with someone else's husband, what will be your thought process? So it's about you. That, as you said, everything in this universe is unique. So like you said about the apple or mango, similarly it's about the flowers. So I always give an example that if there is examination in a jungle, a lion, tiger, monkey, fish, and you take any other animal, hippo, they are sitting, and the question paper is that everyone has to climb the tree. So no matter how hard they try, other than monkey, everyone will fail. Okay, and the next scene is that elephant baby is just telling his papa that, Papa, don't worry, in my life, once I will prove you after climbing this tree, and which is next to impossible. So we all need to take this as a pledge that we need to change the system. Every child is born unique.
Mm.
Every child is best. And when we talk about the women, since childhood we are conditioned that we have to get married, we have to be a good woman, a good wife, good daughter, good daughter-in-law, good mother. But this good needs to be changed. If you're
Yeah,
not good to yourself, all other
absolutely.
roles will never work. So this is what I believe. And why I'm telling you this, because working with women in one-on-one coaching, Swati, I can tell you, like, I cannot share how much I have to
Mm.
work on their confidence to tell them again and again. They come
Mm.
up with this, मुझे दुनिया को दिखाना है, मुझे दुनिया को prove करके दिखाना है. We don't
Yeah.
have to prove to other
Mm.
people. It is because of us. So how I was last year or how I was one
Yes.
month back, I have to work on that. So really beautifully explained, Swati, and why I shared my thoughts, because I have felt that everyone is
Absolutely.
just running the rat race, that I want to be the best. Are we are best.
Absolutely.
You have to understand this. We are best. So there is
Very
no
beautifully said,
comparison.
Meenal.
So amazing answers. Yeah,